Hey there, Blessed Mama. We are here to help you, the working mom, manage your personal and professional life without losing your mind. This is a podcast for you. I'm Blair Critch, and I went from a teacher to a stay-at-home to a 7-figure online business owner. And listen, that didn't happen overnight. It happened after we actually hit rock bottom. Bankruptcy that shook us. Then to find out my husband had an addiction problem, I decided that day I would grow and learn how to build a flexible business of freedom. Now today, I'm passionate about teaching other women the exact same thing through systems and strategies full of faith, fun, and drive.
What is up? I am Kelly Hoover, retired corporate pharmaceutical rep to network marketing millionaire and small business owner. After recovering from a brain tumor, I knew I wanted to go after my dreams and make life happen. Quit waiting around for the perfect time. So I learned social media and how to master my time, and then the magic really started happening. If you are looking to create connections and own your time management skills, then this is the place for you. Let's do it.
Today's episode, we're going to share a mom guilt plan for you. That's right, Mama. Do you ever feel guilty? Do you ever notice that you feel like you're being tugged in so many different directions? Maybe you want to be a success in your business, and you want to be successful at being a mom and successful at being a wife or a spouse or even a daughter, sister, friend, or child of God. We know what that feels like, being pulled in all those different directions. Listen, we do take on many roles as women, and it's clear that this has been the case since long ago. Think about the Proverbs 31 woman. She is up before the family, rising and making her family proud. Does this sound familiar? Sounds like a lot of you. Now add in our pandemic this last year and even more guilt about things being added up on our list. Now, some things have slowed down, but I don't know about you, but they are ramping up again. Sports, school activities, etc. How do we do it all and still have a successful business? Today, we're going to map this out. Yes, we will give you ideas, but before that, let's talk about mom guilt and the psychology of how we feel. How do we let go of those unwanted feelings? Listen, I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me a few years back. It was actually 10 years ago when the CEO and owner of Stella & Dot, Jessica Heron, shout out to her, that was the first network marketing business I ever joined. She truly taught me about learning to let go, and that just because you work from home doesn't mean you don't work. So I remember distinctly, it was a first training I'd ever gone to with a small group, an elective group of people that were picked by the company. And we sat there in a room, and Jessica Heron, the CEO of this mega business, said, "What are your biggest burning questions?" And mine was, how do I do it all? I want to be successful. I want to be a 6-figure earner with this company. But what I find is I have these little boys at home, and I have a husband, and I have all these responsibilities, and I feel very pulled. And that's when she looked at us and said, have you ever asked your kids what they want you to do? Have you ever asked your kids if they want you to say yes to the things that you're saying yes to? And so we talked about this. And what I realized was I was saying yes to being room mom. I was saying yes to helping out in the classroom. Why? Because I thought that's what my kids would want me to do. I mean, doesn't every kid want their mom in their classroom helping out in kindergarten? Well, no, actually. So I did go home, and one of the best things I ever did was exactly what she said, which was sitting my boys down. At the time, they were pretty young. I mean, I'd say maybe 4 and 6. And I asked them, do you like it when mommy's in the classroom with you? And do you like it when I come in and help? And both of my boys said, no, because you're busy playing with other kids. They wanted me. They wanted 100% of me. So instead, I started implementing mommy son time, where we would do things that they wanted to do. And guess what? 30 minutes of sitting on the floor, creating something with Legos, or 30 minutes in the pool with them meant more than anything else. And then when I went into my office and shut the door to do my work, I did it without feeling guilty. I also learned that just because people see you in your pajamas dropping off your kids in the morning at school doesn't mean that you don't work. Okay, remember to value and realize what you do. So when people would say, hey, you seem like you have time. Can you join the PTA? Can you join this? Can you join that? I had to learn it's okay to say no. I'm building a business right now. I've got a 2-year plan. I have to say no to these things, but I'm going to help out in other ways. So there are seasons, and it's okay to say yes if you want to say yes. Hear me clearly, but there are seasons of time for different things. So There have been seasons that I've said, yes, I'm going to help out with the auction this year. That sounds like something I'd like to do. And then there are some years I say no, but I make sure that when I'm increasing my pay, that I'm giving back in other ways, right? So allow yourself to figure out what is it that you need to do. And just because you work from home doesn't mean you don't work. So learn to say no, do the things that serve your kids, ask your kids exactly what they want, and then have that time on your calendar to be attentive one-on-one with them with no phone, no distractions. Just do that time with them. Now, this also works for your husbands, okay, ladies? I know for me, it's on the calendar what night a week Ryan and I are having quote unquote date night. It doesn't always mean we go out on a date. It might just mean that that's the night that I'm putting away my phone and I'm focusing on our relationship, hanging out together, going for a walk, watching some TV together. That is our time. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not checking in with my business. So make sure you put these plans in place because that will help take that mom guilt off your back. Kelly, let's get started with some ideas of what can help them with their mom guilt battle plan.
Oh, I love this topic so much. First, let's start by journaling what we are feeling. So, ladies, this means you need to grab your notebook. Of course, if you're driving, come back and listen to this and go through this process. But this is a process you're going to want to get your notebook out. We have some questions and things that we're going to share with you that's really going to help you get to the core of this. So, let's first start with journaling exactly what you are feeling. Okay. And then why not share this episode with other mamas, other moms that are dealing with the same thing, regardless of whether they're working from home, working for their home, or going out in the workforce and working away from home. Here are some questions that we have for you that are really going to help uncover what you're feeling. So, that's right. Write this down. I want you to know, write down how you're feeling. Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling frustrated that maybe there's not enough time? Or are you frustrated that there's so much distraction? Do you feel hurt or maybe even sad? Do you ever feel annoyed by your kids? Do you ever feel annoyed at yourself because you're like, I need to be in 2 different places at once? So the first step to journaling is writing down what you are feeling. What are your feelings right now in this moment? The next step is to ask yourself, why do you feel this way? Why exactly are you feeling anxious and frustrated, maybe sad and annoyed? Do you know exactly why that is happening to you? Is there any responsibilities that are on that list that can be shared? Think about that. You really have to think about what these specific things are. Another question. Is there anything on that list that does not take your gifts or talents and can be given to your child for a chore, or maybe you pay a mommy helper to come in, or you pay someone to come clean your house or help you with laundry, or you outsource cooking? What is on that list that is not taking your gifts and your talent that you can outsource? And yes, your kids can do chores. You can, so simple to have them do regular things and be part of the family. And guess what? That takes time off of your plate and less mom guilt. Another question for you, is there anything on your list that does not serve your family or your goals? Listen, when I thought about this question, I think about some of the daily things that are happening in people's lives, in my life, in Blair's lives, and other people's lives that are not serving your goals for your business or your family. And if it's not serving your heart, your business, your family, why are we doing these small little things? So think about what that is that you can eliminate. And once you've completed all of these things, you really, truly will have some time to brainstorm this list and have these feelings with your spouse. If you're married or you have a significant other living in the home with you, brainstorm solutions. Here is how I feel mom guilt. I'm going to give you an example. Working in the evening, I have been homeschooling children for the last year. Okay. And so sometimes in the evening, I may have experienced mom guilt because my husband and my girls are out having fun and I'm in the office working. Why am I in the office working? Because I'm spending time homeschooling them during the day. So that could process guilt, mom guilt for me. Oh, I want to be out there playing basketball. But I have to quickly remind myself that I have planned and scheduled one-on-one time with my kids. I spend time with my husband. There are times built in that. And I remind myself, I do not need to feel guilty because they're having their time with their dad. They're having their time with each other. So that's just a simple example of how you can sort of brainstorm solutions. And if you find yourself in that situation, think of exactly how you can stop feeling that way and remember what you are doing. Now, the next thing, now that you have all of these sort of ideas, what do you want to achieve in your business? Okay, what goals do you have right now in this month, in the next 90 days, this calendar year? What are those things? And have you spoken to your family about it? Do they know what your goals are? Have you brought them into these goals? I promise you, when you allow them to have space with these goals, they will be cheering you on because maybe you're offering a reward at the end saying, hey, when mommy hits this goal and hits this certain rank in my company or achieves this amount of sales, we're going to go celebrate with whatever. And they're like, yes, mom, you can do it. Yes, you can do it. And you bring them in. And that way, when you are working, they're not bothering you because you've brought them into why you're working so hard. So have you done that? Have you defined it? That is really the next step. And I want you to also think, what do you want to achieve as a mom, as a wife? Does your family know that? Do they know what you're working on? This will also help eliminate a lot of mom guilt. I know I share with my daughter specifically, she's a preteen, and I've shared with her over the last year that I am really wanting us to work on our relationship, and this is how we're going to do it. I don't want to go into teen years not having a good foundation of a relationship with her. And the reality is if we wouldn't have started that, I may find myself in that situation, but thank goodness I let her know what I wanted to achieve as her mom and what sort of relationship I wanted to have with her. I was vocal. So are you vocal about this? Does your family know? Do your kids know? How can everyone in your family be involved? All right. And your family, maybe your kids, your spouse, your significant other, maybe extended family. But how can everyone be involved in that to eliminate that mom guilt? So I hope these questions were helpful for you. Blair, I know we are going to continue on through this process. So what else is next?
Hey there, blessed mama. We know this last year has been quite the journey between COVID, between political uproar, and all the things that have kept us from doing the things that we absolutely love to do, like getting together with other like-minded women. So we knew that we needed to host our very first annual Blessed Mama Bosses retreat this fall. So join us September 24th through 26th for Bringing Me Back retreat. Listen, you're not going to have to do anything. Put those feet up, relax, fill up your cup so you can come home not only better at your business, but better as a mom, better as an entrepreneur, better as a wife or a friend or a daughter. You have many roles, and we are here to fill up your cup and have you spend a weekend getting pampered, being taken care of, but best of all, making sure that you fill your body, mind, and soul. You're not going to want to miss out on this weekend in Orlando, Florida, where we're going to have so much fun, learn a ton, and even have a professional life coach. So if you want more information, go check it out at bmbretreat.com. We have a special going on right now through the month of May, and you're not going to want to miss out. Hey, and grab a friend, whether they're in the same business as you or they don't even have a business at all. No matter who they are, they will love this retreat. So we cannot wait to see you there. Check it out at bmbretreat.com. Yes, I have to go back to what you said, though, about when you see your kids outside playing basketball with your husband. I get jealous, too. I'm like, dang, I want to be out there doing that. And it's funny, it happens, I feel like, even more. And I mean, this is just in my head. I don't really know if it happens more, but in my opinion, it happens a lot because my boys are getting older. So there's more things that they can do with Ryan than they can do with me. Like, I don't really want to go outside and, play a round of golf, or I don't want to go, throw the football or those kind of things. I mean, sometimes I force myself to do it, but it is interesting because I do get that feeling sometimes. And I have to remind myself, no, that's a blessing. Like that they have that relationship with their dad, right? And then we do other things. There's different things they do with me than they do with him. So I love that you brought that up. All right, we're going to continue on this digging deep and journaling, right? So the third step is now writing this down. What guilt do I need to let go of? It is so powerful when you truly write that down. So, what guilt do you need to let go of? The next question is, what are my values and my family's values? This is really important. If you've never written down your values or your family's values, this is really a great family exercise if the kids are getting older to really talk about, like, what do we want? When we imagine our family, what does that look like? What are the things that we want to put as a priority? What are the things that are important to us? What are the things that we want others in our community to know about our family, right? So it's really important that you write that down, because what you spend the most time in should reflect back on those values, right? And also, I love this question. How can I use what I wrote earlier to achieve the goals that I have set? Wow, that's powerful. What can I use that I wrote earlier to achieve the goals that I have set? So think about all the questions that Kelly shared with you, all the questions that I just said. How can you take all of those answers and now decide, do they work with the goal that I have set? How can I use them to fuel me? How can I use them to get to that goal even faster, right? Because if you allow your family to be on board and you figure out how to manage your time, you're going to get to these goals way faster than if you feel like you're pulling a 10-pound weight all the time behind your back, okay? So step number 4, now that you're clear on all of this, you want to reevaluate every quarter. Yes, every quarter. You're going to set up your quarter based on all of these things that we shared before, right? The goals of, how do I need to put this and show up on my calendar? How are those goals showing up on the calendar? What needs to be done to achieve my work goals? What needs to be done to achieve those work goals weekly, daily, monthly, each quarter to achieve it? What about your health goals? What do I need to do daily, weekly, monthly for the quarter to achieve my health goals? Family goals. What do I need to do daily, weekly, monthly to achieve the family goals? If you reevaluate and do this every quarter, I have no doubt that you'll skyrocket. That was the difference between me with my first business and me with my current business. I hit, auto bonus in 3 weeks with my current business. I hit top of the compensation plan in 4 months. I hadn't even gotten there in almost 5 years with my first company. Why? Because I wasn't aligned. I was carrying a 10-pound weight. I always felt guilt. I felt like I couldn't do well in either one of my jobs, as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, but I wasn't clear. I wasn't clear about what was important to my family. I wasn't clear about what was important to me. I wasn't clear about my goals. I wasn't clear about how we were going to get there. So I hope that you really take the time to go back and write down these questions that we've asked you. I challenge you to share this with another working mom. It doesn't matter what field she's in, whether she has a career, whether she's a teacher, whether she's a dentist, whether she's a network marketer, a real estate agent. No matter what job you have, I guarantee you every mom you know at some point has had mom guilt. And I truly believe that when you stop and you write down the things that you want to achieve, you figure out what's important to your family, you figure out where those things fit in on your calendar, you're going to see your business, your growth, your success, your family skyrocket. So we hope that these were helpful for you today. We're praying that you take action on them. And Kelly, I know that there's a way that we can actually share all of this even quicker and help people with their goals and with their quarterly ideas and things like that. So will you share a little bit more about that with them?
Yes, I just love this exercise, and I can't wait to see you guys applying these questions and really going through this process. So, one of the things that I will tell you that will help you achieve all of this, every single thing, and really get realigned with who you are, is to attend our Bringing Me Back retreat. And maybe you're like, Kelly, Blair, I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't heard anything about a retreat, but it sounds really intriguing. Here's the thing, as women, as business owners, as working moms, as stay-at-home working moms, whatever it is that your role is right now, there is one thing we all have in common, and that is not putting ourselves as a priority. It is not putting ourselves, making sure that we are serving our heart and our mind and our body before we serve anyone else. And listen, it's a common thing, ladies. It is a very common thing that happens as we grow in our life, as we become moms, as we become wives. So the Bringing Me Back retreat is to serve exactly that spot. you're going to dive into what you struggle with and really how to overcome this. There's going to be a professional life coach that will be there, going to be giving us real life professional advice, how we can walk away and be completely different. This weekend, listen, all the meals are planned for you. Now, imagine not having to cook anything all weekend, ladies. That makes me excited. And of course, we're going to have fun. You're going to be surrounded around like-minded women who are on the path to do the same thing that you are. We're going to have so many events that are really going to re-center yourself. And there are so many small detail touches that are truly going to blow you away. Now, spots are very limited, and depending on when you're listening to this, there may be halfway full by now. I don't know exactly what that is, but I will tell you, go to www.bnbretreat.com, snag your spot. You can put down your deposit. It's the retreat is in September, and it's in Orlando, Florida. And we're just so incredibly excited to pour into this weekend. When Blair and I have been praying over this weekend long before 2021. This is something at the beginning of Blessed Mama Bosses we knew had to be a part. Because why? We have been on these retreats. We have served on these retreats. We have been a part of these retreats, and we have walked away back into our normal life, different women. And a lot of times, if you have followed Blair through her cancer journey, if you have followed me at all, you will see that we do live a balanced life. Does it mean that we get stressed out because we have too much personal or work on our plate sometimes? No, it doesn't eliminate that. But I will tell you, we are always serving ourselves. We are always serving our families and serving our businesses. And even during challenges in our life, we still feel so centered that we still show up. Show up for our business, show up for ourselves, and show up for our family. And I will tell you the reason why is because we know who we are as women. We know how we can show up best for all of these other people in our life. And that is not something that happens immediately overnight. That is something that happened at a retreat for us. So we are so incredibly excited and cannot wait to help you grab your spot here. Ask us any sort of questions.
And really quick, I want to tell you that I have had the best experiences, the most growth, the most movement when I've gone to a retreat where I didn't know everybody, where I was honestly a stranger among most of the people there. So I know that is sometimes the biggest thing that stops people from saying yes to a retreat is because they're not going to know everybody there, but that's where you're going to see the most growth. Being surrounded by new like-minded women who are trying to reach the exact same goals, and you get to hear their perspective, their ideas, and it will help you grow for the future. So go check out bnbretreat.com. We can't wait to see you there, and reach out to us with any questions. We're here to serve and help. We hope you have a great day and make it a great day for others. Don't forget to share this episode and give us a rate and review.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and want to hang out with us more. Join us inside our Facebook community. You can find us at www.blessedmamabossesgroup.com. We'll see you inside.